Hi, my name's Fiona and welcome back to Cooking the Books. This week I'm going to do a recipe by Rick Stein, taken from his book Long Weekends, and it's a recipe that he tasted in Bologna. These recipes in this book I have tried, and I have to say the ones that I have tried are excellent, so I'm hoping that this one is the same. I'll just show you a quick picture. I'm very hopeful that this will turn out like that, but as you've seen in the past, sometimes things can go quite wrong. So I'll just tell you all the ingredients now. The cameraman wants me to use the magic wand, which happens to be a chopstick. He's getting creative. He's read too many things about YouTube. Okay, let's start with the milk and cream. Butter and sugar, vanilla pods, gelatin, pistachio nuts, and last of all, salt. Right, the first step is to warm through the milk, the sugar and the cream with half a vanilla pod and adding 2 leaves of gelatin when this has warmed through. You have to soak the gelatin in cold water for 5 minutes, so I'll just get this on the heat and then I'll put the gelatin in the water.
As you know, Fiona, we like to have a food-related geography question in the show every time. This recipe includes vanilla, which is the world's biggest producer of vanilla.
If you could say it.
Vanilla, Milli Vanilli. What country is the world's biggest producer of vanilla?
Right, I fished out the vanilla pod and I've just about come to the end of scraping out the inside, which goes back into the pan. The cameraman went and bought these vanilla pods for me and was utterly horrified at the cost. So, just warning you that this is not a cheap recipe. Right, I'm just squeezing the water out of the gelatin that's been soaking for 5 minutes. I'm going to pop it into the warmed milk mixture with the vanilla, and then we'll just leave that to dissolve. Right, I think that's the gelatin all dissolved. So I'm just going to put the liquid into these little containers. One for me. And I'm just going to do an experiment. I think these glasses are really nice. I'm just going to see with the shape and everything whether it's going to be possible to get it out of the glass once it's set. I think probably not, but I'm going to give it a go. Some rum in there would be nice, wouldn't it? Leave these to cool, and then once they're at room temperature, they're still quite warm at the moment, put them in the fridge and do not touch them for at least 4 hours. Rick recommends overnight, but we haven't got time for that, so I will leave them the 4 hours and we'll see how that works. I've got a few more things to do before we get those out of the fridge. Now you need to chop the pistachio nuts, which shouldn't take too long. They're quite soft. And then we're going to place them on this buttered baking tray and scatter sea salt over them. I toasted pistachio nuts. You have to make sure that they don't catch. Keep an eye on it. Only do it for about a couple of minutes. And don't make the mistake I did of not warming the pan first, because it took me longer than that and I had to throw away some of the nuts that got a little bit burnt. So, right, some of them that I've quite roughly chopped it. You'll see why it's not too much of a concern in a minute. So I'm just going to scatter them onto here as evenly as you want. Let's take the salt and just Right, next step, I've got to make the toffee. So it requires tablespoon, and then a half. I've halved all the measurements for this because there is only 2 of us, and it's wasteful to do too much. Okay, and now add the sugar and the butter. And over to the oven where we're just going to heat it gently. Right, I think we're nearly there. Hi again. Actually 24 hours have passed since I last filmed because the panna cotta, which we left for 4 hours, wasn't quite set. So that is now remedied. And this is the pistachio, I suppose, toffee, really. It's delicious, and unfortunately we've been eating it. So I'm going to make some of it into a crumb to add to the cream, so making the pistachio cream. Right, the moment of truth. I'm going to get the panna cotta out the fridge. There we go. Looks fine. There you go. Right, now here comes the tricky bit. Now, I think you saw me a few weeks ago trying to get something out of a tin and it was an absolute disaster. So I'm taking advice from Rick Stein here to put these in here for about 8 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, just leave them a second. And the theory is that it will melt the edges and so it will come out on the plate cleanly. This is just under boiling water. It's not quite boiling, but then you wait a couple of seconds. It also says you can put a sharp knife around it, but I'm going to see if I can get it out without doing that because that's going to go wrong. Okay, here we go. Not again. Let's hope this works. There we go. There we go. So I'm just going to repeat with this one. So you've got a little bit of cream surrounding them from the panna cotta, which is how it's meant to be. I'm just going to spoon over some of the pistachio cream.
Is it literally it's pistachio and cream? It's
pistachio cream, but with the toffee. I'm going to put some fresh pistachios over the top. There we go. Okay. Then we'll just sprinkle some normal pistachios around. Well, when I say normal, I mean not cooked or salted or anything. And then just a little bit more of the toffee mix that I haven't blitzed on the top. And there you have it. Panna cotta, recipe by Rick Stein, panna cotta with salted pistachio cream. Would you like to give it a try, cameraman? So, how was it?
It's actually delicious.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually delicious. I mean, to be honest, cream, toffee, nuts, you know, if it works, it's going to be delicious, and it worked.
I'm actually really surprised. I thought when I saw that that wasn't going to come out, and actually in the end it was quite easy, I thought, here we go again. Anyway, I would highly recommend this book actually, and yeah, go out to shops, buy it, see what you think, or just have a look at it.
Well done, well done, Rick Stein.
Yeah, well done. Bye, see you next time, and don't forget to subscribe. Let's just see what it tastes like anyway.
What country is the world's biggest producer of vanilla?
Madagascar.
Spot the quiz again.